Well, hello to my 5 subscribers now. Look, I know you have probably been worried sick about where I've been, but it was holiday season. I got distracted. Also, I ran out of passion for cooking and I have found myself in a DoorDash season of my life, if you will. And also, I think that it's time to do a little revamp of my channel for my 5 subscribers because I have listened and I will deliver. Cooking is not my strength in this world, and I'm starting to see that. So I had to sit down and wonder, what is my target audience? Well, the answer would probably be young trans women. What do I have that they wouldn't? I'm glad you asked. The answer is age. I have age and I accumulate it every year. And with that comes some knowledge. So I can provide information of missteps I have made throughout my life and try to hope that you don't make the same. As I have sat down and wondered what kind of, oh my God, sorry, my ass is starting to hurt. That silicone, honey. As I have sat down and said, well, what would they want to know about Charlotte? Well, the answer is simple: boys. Let's talk about dating as a trans woman. Now, while I feel like this is a tricky subject for everybody, you and I are in a very unique predicament here, aren't we? First, our dating pool is not really precise the way our family is with them, the way their family is with us. I mean, have you ever dated a Jewish man from Miami, Florida, and went to his family's Passover a year into your transition? Let me tell you something. Don't expect a lot of Hanukkah gifts, okay? But before we do all that, before we get into the dating aspect, think of it as war. We are going into war with society. Trans women like us, you should know by now that they do not like us, right? So if we're on the same page of there, let's continue. So you need to think of this as war. And what does any good warrior do? Well, I'll tell you, they go in with strategy. You need to have strategy. Strategy, or you will die. You will die. You will get pregnant and you will die. Perhaps that's a little dramatic. You won't die, but you won't win. And if you are anything like me, losing is a fate worse than death. You need to sit down, get a notebook and a piece of paper, and you need to ask yourself, why do I want a boyfriend? Why do I want a boyfriend? But you have to really ask yourself, because I know what you're saying. Look, hey, Charlotte, because I'm a woman and I deserve this experience, and God damn it, I get it. I get it. Charlotte, I want to go have sex. I get it. I get it. But you need to ask the real questions here. I want someone who loves me. Get a dog. Get a dog. Get a dog. I promise you. A lot less heartache, a lot less work. Where with men, it's a little bit different. Is it validation? Do you need validation from the opposite sex that you are a woman? Be honest with yourself. I'm not judging you here, but you have to be honest. Do you want to combat loneliness? Are you at a point in your life where you just feel like a partner could bring some excitement for you? Do you want someone to just chill on the couch with you and binge watch Desperate Housewives? These are okay answers, but when you sit back, you have to realize that you are capable of alleviating all of that. Adding another party into it is going to cause you irreversible problems. They are going to cause damage. They are going to cause damage, and you cannot afford damage. You can't. You got a lot going on. Girl, hormones, surgeries, getting work, having friends. You got a lot on your plate that you cannot afford to be damaged because you need some man to come in and validate you. Because let me tell you what, honey, if this is your first time, if you've never been in a relationship, be prepared. Be prepared to be someone's on-call therapist. If you're living with him, you'll probably be his like live-in maid. And all those times you thought that maybe a back rub would just mean a back rub. Get out of here. Get out of here. It's not what's going to happen for you. And in fact, it's going to cause a lot of problems for you because men are not that great. As much as they have inflated egos and they come in and they make you feel good, etc., these are hormones. These are not the product of a man coming into your life and saving you. Because men ain't shit. I'm sorry to break your heart if you believe otherwise. Men really do not have all that going on for them. And in fact, they are going to come with a lot more baggage, especially as you get a little bit older like I am. They're going to come with a lot more baggage than they are going to come with resolutions. I mean, that's just the name of the game. So now that you've sat down and you've wondered, why do I want a boyfriend? And you figured out it's for healthy reasons. What they are, I don't know. Can I ask you a personal question? How long have you been transitioning for now? Did you just take your first estrogen pill today? A couple of years? Maybe a decade? Understand you are at a very vulnerable part of your life right now. You are in a very vulnerable position in your life. Now, what does vulnerability attract? Predators. Predators, hunters are attracted to vulnerability. Listen, when I transitioned in the year 1703, please understand that I was not in a position other than absorbing any information around me. I was not in any position to give any advice, I had to absorb all that was around me. Why? Because everything I had ever known changed. The way women started talking to me was different because before I was always the fun gay guy. Oh my God, you're so funny. You're so funny. Men, I don't even think I ever talked to a man until the age of 21. My family dynamic, the way strangers greeted me on the street, everything had changed. So you should be at a point in your life where you are absorbing information. If you do allow somebody to come in, please make sure that this is not a predator. That switched up my grocery. Sorry. If the lighting or the way I'm sitting is a little bit different, my groceries got delivered, so I had to go run out and grab that before my sneaky neighbors got into my Uncrustables. Okay, so vulnerability attracts predators, i.e. fuck boys. Fuck boys. You do not have time for fuck boys because why? You're going to distract yourself. You are going to distract yourself from working on you, which is the whole point of this transition, is to work on you. It is going to distract you so you can fix said boy because he alleviates this, but he is a predator. And he smelt it the minute your cute little ass walked in those stilettos and the short little Gucci dress. Oh, come on, I'm so cute. Yes, you are cute. You look like a snack. You look like a snack. And predators, you might have some, probably on the more respectable tier, that like that hunt. They're, oh God, I want to go after her so hot. But then you have some that just need to be fed. They just need to be fed. And if you notice the boys that are in your DMs, that are in Stacy's, Cinnamon's, Diamonds, whatever you young girls are calling yourselves now, when he's in all those DMs, he's hunting. He's hungry. And this whole pick me, I'm gonna make him settle down. I'm gonna make him settle down, and then we're gonna get a place on the farm and we're gonna have children. Delusions. Honey, catch yourself. Catch yourself. Understand if you are at a vulnerable part in your life, and I'm not talking to you girls that got it all figured out, oh my god, I'm talking to the Britney Spears and the Kevin Federline. Oh, we're on a plane, we're landing. You are going through a manic episode and you need to drop him like a bad habit. Easier said than done. But a word from the wise to the otherwise. A lot of the times, 95% of the times when I see a trans girl getting into adult relationships, she is the equivalent of a 13-year-old girl mentally. Mentally. Who likes 13-year-old girls that aren't 13-year-old boys? I'll let you answer that. You have to understand that when you go into war ill-prepared, you are subjecting yourself. You are wearing a sign. And please understand, I know, as a young trans woman, that you are going into this field and you're inexperienced. These men have their whole life, baby. If you are dating a cis man, he has been doing this since before the first Jerry Springer episode you ever watched. Before the first Jerry Springer episode you ever watched. He was finding the weak girl on the playground, the one, not too many people. And girl, she was giving him her candy bars. He's been doing this for a minute. Stay away. Do not get involved in that game and try to outbeat him. Stay away. You are ill-equipped. You are ill-equipped. Don't do it. Don't fall into the trap of having to fix a man, because also, more on that later. Okay, at this part of your life, you need to be focusing on more than your transition. What does that mean? It means that when we finally have the balls or the lack thereof to go after the woman that we believe we can be, that can become all-encompassing. You can get obsessed with it. I did. What's my style as a woman? Some of you, I think the younger generation might have it a little bit better. Probably got to explore that identity a little bit more. Let me tell you what. I was in my 20s and I had never tried on an article of women's clothing. That's a lie. I did have sisters and, but I'm talking about on a day-to-day presentation of like, this is who I am. Never got to do it, because it is all encompassing. It is, I'm obsessed with what kind of woman I am, this, that, and the third. You need to feed yourself, because if you were anything like me, you spent a good majority of your life of clouding your authentic self, right? Like, oh, this can't be seen. This cannot be seen. And while you think that it would just be like, yay, I'm up from the grave, and you can just like dig yourself out miraculously, it takes time. It takes time you're psychologically programmed to hide parts of yourself. So now that it's time to be your authentic self, you're gonna like tense up. You're gonna freeze up. You have to dig your way out. You're not sprouting out, here I am as a woman. It's a transition. And while it might be authentic for you, you spent a long time, hiding it. So you should be focused on other things. While your transition it's kind of like a cake, You do what you can for the day and you place it in. But talking about pronouns, talking about like, oh, how people should treat me. No, girl, you are in a losing war. And again, we are in a war. So you need to focus on strategy. And don't exhaust yourself based on what other people need to be doing or how other people need to be thinking. Not your problem. Not your problem. You need to be focused in on you. You need to be focused in on you. So to fully focus on yourself, you need to get to know yourself. I signed up for a theater group and I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. I've gotten into trying to play some instruments. I ordered myself French Rosetta Stone. I've tried getting into cooking to no avail. I might be considering baking because, you know, I think I don't like with cooking how there's just so many yes ands. You can do this. I need exact measurements, and baking might be a thing. I got into knitting, arm knitting. I knitted blankets. Everybody who knew me got a fucking blanket. String painting, wine tasting. Like, these are things that you need to get involved in. You need to try to figure out what makes you tick aside from, I'm sorry, but like if you're gonna sit down and you're gonna go on a date with a guy and he's like, tell me about yourself. Yeah, well, I knew I was a woman and nobody believed me, and then I took these pills and I fucking ate my dad. It's not cute. It's not attractive. You need to be able to bring something to the table. Volunteering, if you go out, oh, I don't know if I can put that in. Volunteering, if you want to volunteer like with animals, you need to figure out find little things that are ticks or little things that you enjoy and go chase after them like a fucking dog. You just go chase after it. Why? Because it will teach you about yourself. Get into a dance class. I'm telling you, aside from men, what is this doing? Fulfillment. I'm starting to feel fulfilled. Fulfilled people become less vulnerable. Okay, Charlotte, wait. Okay, maybe there's a method to the madness. Now that I've caught your attention, lean in closer. Friendships. You need to invest in friendships. Being an adult and making friends is probably the toughest shit. The toughest shit. Because before, you're subjected to people. You're in high school, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like you're gonna go to homeroom and go find your BFF. You guys are gonna go to college, get matching tattoos, you know, whatever, what have you. You're not doing that anymore. You can, in fact, I work remotely. People work remotely, you know? You can go to the office and everybody's just whack, you know, you don't find any friends. You need to find friends. And the best way to do that as an adult is, again, activities, hobbies, throughout these things. You know what I do? I'm bold. When it comes to women, when it comes to men, girl, I don't have a second to spare. I don't answer their text messages. I don't really talk to them out in person. With women, I'm bold. Ooh, I like your earrings. Do you want to go out? Do you want to hang out? Ooh, girl, I like this. Oh, yeah, you drink wine too? I drink wine. I have boxes of it at home. Do you want to drink all of it with me? You're bold. And if they think you're weird, then they think you're fucking weird. Why do you care? Why do you care? You need to go out and make some friends. So once you have a strong foundation of your friendships, and okay, also, this is a tough pill to swallow. Some of your trans friends aren't your friends. They're not your friends. If they see you as weak and vulnerable, and they're weak and vulnerable, what are they gonna do? Yes, they're gonna try to make a pact, but is it for strength? Or is it because they need someone to tear down constantly? I'm not saying you can't be friends with other trans girls. I'm just saying be careful. These are a lot of people with a lot of insecurities and a lot of anger that they can take out on you. If you're going through the journey of working on yourself, they may not like it and they may shit on you. So, I mean, we'll do videos later about deciding your enemies and friends. First and foremost, go get you some friends and make sure that they're pretty good. And the way that you can do that is by bonding through common interests. There's actually a chemical that's released. A good person would write this kind of shit down, but it is a hormone that is released when you are bonding with other people, or when you're sharing a shared interest with other people. That is a bonding chemical. So, you know, hobbies or shared interests, best ways for you to make some friends. Some of the lifelong friends I have made was through an acting class, or was through, you know, people of shared interest, you bond easily. So you need to get a good sense of self and identity and figure out what your issues are that you're hoping a man can fix. And when you've canceled that out and you make yourself a good set of friendships, you know, and I understand all of us might not be able to have great relationships with our family, but the friendship beyond food and shelter is the need for social inclusion. We are pack animals, and as trans girls, you're gonna have a very hard time with that one. Word from the wise. So now you got your friend group, you got your hobbies, you're working on yourself, you're a little bit less vulnerable, and you got your Tinder profile. You got verified on Tinder, and things are going pretty good for you, aren't you? I have a love-hate relationship with online dating. I don't partake in it anymore, but when I did, it was very love-hate, and I'll tell you why. One of the things I really enjoyed about it is that I could put in my bio that that I was trans, so that could alleviate any anxiety you have when a guy comes up to you at a bar. You know, so those are good things. That's a pro. You know, you can make sure that you're safely meeting men. Okay, all right, that's nice. Some of the cons for it is you are getting bottom of the barrel. Bottom of the barrel is who you are gonna find on Grindr and Tinder. Any Durs, Bumble, well, you know, anything like that, you are gonna find bottom of the barrel. You know, you can put in your bio like, oh, okay, like trans girl, etc., etc., etc. You're gonna get a lot of stupid comments, but then like you can weed that out, which is great. Well, let's talk about the dating itself, the in-person dating. You do not know the chemistry you are gonna have with someone in person from an online experience. They could be telling the funniest jokes, giving you the best compliments. You're really excited to meet this guy, and he shows up and he has bad teeth. I have nice teeth, so I'm partial to it. So let's talk about when to tell him. Say if you meet him out in public. Ugh, I can't be smoking on this shit. Why do I do that? So say you meet him out in public and everyone's like, oh, well, when do you tell him? And there's people that are like, men deserve the right to know. And hey, you need to let him know, you need to quit being a trickster. How about this? How about you guys stop sticking your penis in girls you know nothing about and start getting to know them? But that's a whole nother conversation. This is what I will say. Tell him right off the bat. And this is why. Your safety is a number one priority. So your safety. Some of these men get really angry about the fact of being attracted to a trans girl. It's embarrassing for them. It makes them question. They're gonna have to do some work. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable, and they might retaliate on you. Nip it in the butt, tell them right away. Also, you are subconsciously telling yourself when you're like, oh, you know, we're going on our third date, so I have something to tell you. I have something to tell you, and I don't know how you're gonna take it, but just know, girl, cut the shit. You are subconsciously telling yourself that you need to explain that it's okay for them to be attracted to you. Honey, you've already done all this work. If you followed this video, you've already gotten into your hobbies, your friendships, etc. You're showing up present. You're showing up present. And you know what? Anytime a man's like, oh, I'm attracted to you, but I don't know what this means. And I'm like, figure it the fuck out and call me back. Figure it the fuck out and call me back. Why? Because I've never dated a trans girl. That's your fucking journey. It took me, almost gave away my age. It took me how many years to figure out how I feel about myself and who I am, and I'm showing up present to a date. You've already proven to me that you don't fucking know. You don't fucking know. And while I may not be vulnerable, I'm sure as shit not a predator. And I have no interest on a weak man. I have no interest in weak men, right? Because we're strong women. We need a strong man in our life. You deserve it, kid. And what do strong women do? We know our worth. We know our worth. Why are you gonna go on a date with a guy and try to explain to him and walk him through all of this? Baby, honey, this is not fast food. This is not, you can come get it anytime. Bitch, when I call a friend up and I'm all like, hey, let's go to McDonald's, my treat. probably easier for her to pass than when I'm like, hey, Morton Steakhouse, my treat. Girl, she's gonna jump all over that. Why? Because it's not an everyday experience, and you are not an everyday experience. You need to realize that if you've done enough work on yourself, then you're interviewing them. I'm just gonna keep it G and let you know. That video started getting really, really long and I got really, really hungry, so I did end up cooking dinner. I will do a part series because how could I even believe that dating for us would be one video? Until next time, bye guys.